Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Let Your Shit Out with John and
10. It's hot as shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let Your Shit Out. Today we have an amazing guest, Latoya McCormick. She is a baker, a theater director, musical director, actor, and wait till you see her. She's amazing. Hi, Latoya.
Hey.
And also we have an awesome co-host. She's also one of our producers of the show, Rebel Kate from the Randys. Hi, Kate. When you guys think of the black market, what do you think of being on for purchase?
Livers.
I was going to say kidneys, but yes, livers, kidneys.
Hearts.
Legos, girl. Legos are now on the black market.
What?
Yeah, they're apparently, and this is from like a French magazine that they did an article on. These Legos are only produced in like small amounts, like, you know, like it's like a Star Wars Lego or it's a certain type of Lego.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, like back in the day when you got that McDonald's toy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a collector's item. So now apparently Legos are collector's items.
You learn something new every day.
What do you think about Legos being on the black market nowadays?
Why not?
I mean, it's not going to build me a couch or anything, but
I think it's better than having a heart or a liver on the black market. So yeah, put the Legos on there.
So we have a nicer black market these days. We went from livers to Legos.
Yeah, put the Legos on.
Hey, what do you think about it? Because I know you've got a kid in a Lego age range. Would you go to the black market for your kid?
Okay, first off, I've actually looked into the black market, right? I've looked because you have to get a special IP address because if the government finds you on there, you're in serious trouble. No, absolutely not. He can suffer with the Legos that we get at Walmart. No way. Not getting on the black market to go get some Legos.
Now, Latoya, I know that you just recently got married a year ago. I was at the wedding.
September.
A year ago, September, not yet a year. Okay, I know. I did hear that you might have been chasing somebody around a room a couple of times trying to get a baby.
Mm-hmm. Who told you that? You know we broke the TV?
Not the TV.
Yes, tell us.
So let me tell you, I was chasing him around the room, like, bring it to me, like, he's gonna be on the black market. I was chasing him around, and then all of a sudden, we had this vase on the top shelf of the entertainment, and it literally just came falling down, and it hit the TV, but it didn't break. So we didn't think anything was wrong. Well, later that evening, we get ready to turn the TV on to watch TV, and it's like all spidered out from where it hit the TV and it shattered. It just didn't break the screen, but it broke like all the pixelation and everything. We had to get a new TV.
Breaking baby news right there.
I will tell you something though. I think that in every parent's journey, there's going to be a broken television. So maybe you'll get lucky and that will be the broken television pre-child. First little advice.
Oh my goodness.
Throughout this pandemic, you have had a new job, right?
I've had 2 new jobs, actually. The first one, it wasn't really a new job. I went from teaching middle school. I've been teaching for this is my 18th year of teaching. But at the beginning of this year, I started off teaching online. And then I got a call in January that said, well, the kids are going back to the brick and mortar school, so we're losing all these positions on the online schooling. So you need to go back into a classroom. So then I literally lost the online job and started at Tarpon High School 3 days later.
Mm.
Yeah, so that has been a transition, but I love being in the classroom and back in here. So I'm happy. I'm happy here.
Can you tell everybody what you teach?
I teach chorus. I teach musical theater, and I also teach guitar, even though I don't know how to play guitar. Let me just say that's an interesting experience. But let me say, good YouTube and the good guitarists, they are my friend. And they help with that class. And I told the kids right up front, I said, I play piano. I don't play guitar. I was like, so we're gonna make this work.
Yeah, so you take the C major scale and play all the notes between, right?
On the piano, I can whip it out.
You can do it up.
But not on guitar. So I'm learning with the kids.
Well, Kate's great at the guitar.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm all right. Actually, we my band and I were working on, for our guitarist's birthday present, we're going to be performing the entire Blue album by Weezer, and I have the sheet music for it. So I've been transposing the piano parts to guitar, and this is my first time actually working with real sheet music, and
Okay.
it's not as easy, I think, as some people would assume. I mean, I kind of play I play the git fiddle like the Beatles did. You know, they never actually learned how to play anything. They just did it, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you said Tarpon. I actually performed in high school at Tarpon with our choir one year. So I've actually been in your school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, they built this whole, like, there's a arts conservatory that they've built here, and we have the Tarpon High Band. They're like national champions. And then the show choir here, they have won all these you see all the trophies.
You didn't need Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act to come help your choir out.
Nope.
They also did some special things for your classroom, right? Because of the pandemic, don't you have some?
Yes. So I have a air vent cleaner. So basically what it does, since we're in choir, the kids can sing for like 30 minutes, and then we're in class for 48 minutes. So what happens is the kids will sing for 38 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes of the class, I turn on this air cleaner thing, and it supposedly cleans all the air in the classroom within 20 minutes. So it'll clean all the air for the next class to come in. So at the end of every class, the last 20 minutes of every class, then I turn the air cleaner thing on. They also put plexiglass at my desk. They put plexiglass at the piano. So I have it at my desk, at the piano. They have provided me with like the surgical mask and hand sanitizer and the face shield. I mean, they've given me like pretty much everything.
Well, that's great, because I know you also are concerned with taking the vaccine itself. I know that a lot of people in the country are, and so that's great that they're going to those levels for your comfortability, and not just yours, but for everybody.
Yeah. And part of the reason they did that is because I'm diabetic. And so I was on that high risk list. That's why I was initially teaching online in the first place, was because I was a teacher that was high risk. But then it was like, okay, when they presented the options to me of, okay, since online is going away, then you can either go back into the classroom, you can resign, you can retire, or you can take a year leave of absence. And then I said, well, I need my health insurance. What happens with my health insurance? And they were like, well, you can use the sick days that you have. And then after those sick days run out, then I would be responsible for paying the basic $989 a month for the health insurance. After the 55, I had 55 days worth of sick days left. And so after that 55 days would have run out, then I was responsible, because the board would not put their contribution of the health insurance in anymore. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Sorry you have to deal with that.
But that, I mean, it worked out because now that, you know, I made the decision to come back into the classroom, and they said, if you make the decision to come back in the classroom, we will provide you with these accommodations. And so that's what they have done, as far as like, they made sure like the plexiglass, everything was here before I started with the kids.
That's great.
Well, I mean, that is nice that they put the effort into making it a safe place for you to be, but still, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick in a high note. How about this? Latoya, I have been dying because I didn't get to come and see your one-woman show. Can you tell us what the name is and why you decided to? Did you write it as well?
Okay, so I wrote the show. I wanted it to be called If I Were a White Woman. But it wasn't able to be called that. It was advertised as a brand new day. And they did that because the theater had already sent out their brochures for this year to their season ticket holders. And they had advertised a show called Brand New Day. And so they didn't want to change, you know, the advertisement.
So you had to whitewash your If I Were a White Woman show.
So what I did is the labeling of it had a Black woman, and then it had a white. It literally looked like the Wicked cover. You know how there's the green and then the white. But I had a Black lady, and she had an afro, and then there was a white lady, and then in the show, I had the audience member, when I pointed to them, they had to say, if I were a white woman. And then I'd say, well, if I were a young white woman, I would want to be Millie. And, you know, because it was the basis that, you know, there's all these shows out there, and people in those shows, when those shows were written, those people didn't look like me. And until theaters start like blind casting and just basing it on the talent, who is the best for this part, I'll never get to play like Fanny Bryce or Hello Dolly or things like that, because those parts were written for me. And so I wanted to show that, you know, I have the ability to sing those things too. Just give me a chance. And so I did, you know, some of the big songs out there. I did Defying Gravity in the show. I did Don't Rain on My Parade, Gimme Gimme, You'll Never Walk Alone. But then I also included some shows, things from like The Color Purple. I did Summertime, because, you know, those are shows that the theaters will not get to perform because they usually won't put on like a Black casted show. And so I wanted to include, there's some great musicals out there too that have Black performers in them. And this is some of the music from it. So I did a little bit of everything, ragtime, you know, a little bit of everything.
Did you record it?
They recorded. There is a recording out there. I'm still waiting to get that recording, but yeah, I did the show in January, and I'm waiting to get it so I can cut, you know, do some real like audition reels from it.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I wrote it, everything, and it was pretty much based on my travel, like how I started doing theater, because I originally am a piano player. When I went to go live with my grandmother at 7 years old, I was raised by my grandparents, and at 7, my grandma was like, I want you to play piano. And so she put me in piano lessons. And so I'm originally a classical pianist, you know, and playing all the Beethoven, Rachmaninoff, Chopin, all that. And then in college, I ended up breaking my wrist senior year of college. And my teacher goes, well, can you sing? And I said, I don't know. And he goes, well, we're going to go to the opera theater teacher, and we'll see if she can use you, then we'll let you finish out as a vocal student instead of a piano student. And that's how I started singing.
Wow.
Yep.
Kate, you're muted. Kate, you're muted.
I'm muting myself only out of respect because there's like people mowing and birds everywhere. So I recently started working with a gentleman to try and because we would do recordings and I couldn't make it through more than 2 hours. I was hurting my throat. So I started working with a gentleman to help me figure out how to work through that. And he taught me about this thing where there's like vocal resonance in the mask. Did you learn about that? Is that something that you're
Oh
familiar with?
yeah, everything is about the placement, and so it's about lifting the soft palate. And a lot of people, I find that if you like sing or you're talking for a long period of time and your voice goes hoarse, it's because you're using your throat. Whereas it should just be air coming from the diaphragm through. This is the channel way, but it should be resonance like up here and lifting, and then that soft palate needs to be lifted. I sing all day every day, teaching high school chorus and musical theater and things like that. So it's about the placement. And once you learn placement from the diaphragm, from lifting the soft palate, everything being relaxed, then your voice won't go hoarse. So it's learning that placement.
That's awesome. He always refers to it as what does he say? Like being a magician almost because you're manipulating physics kind of sort of, but that's super cool. Very cool.
Oh, Kate, you're muted again.
Yes, I actually was saying I'm going back on mute.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to hear about cups and cakes.
Oh yeah. That was my grandmother was a baker, and she would make all these fabulous cakes. And then like I said, I went to live with her when I was 7. And then we loved like eating. She would make a cake and we get to lick the bowl and lick the beaters and everything. And so she started me off making a 7-Up pound cake. That was like, okay. And she said, once you've gotten this cake to the point that I don't need to make any more cakes, then you have mastered this cake. And so it took a few years, but she said, my job here is done. And she never made another cake. She would say, Toya, get in there and make me this cake. And I'd have to go in there and make her whatever cake she said. And I literally learned, the whole like Southern down home grandma's baking. And then I took like cake decorating class. I took one class at Joann's and learned how to do like the different tips that they put for frosting and things like that. And so I took that one class, and everything else that I learned, I watched YouTube. I literally learned how, like I made the fondant boots on that cake, that wedding cake that you saw. It's literally made because I watched YouTube. And everything I learned, I just practiced watching YouTube and different things. If there's something you want to know how to do, go on YouTube. Somebody's doing it.
It's the second largest search engine on the planet. I mean, YouTube is an incredible resource,
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
I was on your Instagram earlier, and I mean, they are beautiful cakes. I really like anybody who gets one of these is doing themselves a favor, honestly. I'm actually looking at them again right now. They're so cute.
And it's just in the Tampa Bay area, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Tampa. We'll go like Bradenton. We do Manatee because I've like done deliver cakes over there and everything. But Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, Manatee, in this area.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Not necessarily that you've made, but your favorite kind of cake.
I love to make. There's this old-fashioned cake called a wafer cake, and it literally is made. You don't use flour. You use vanilla wafers, and you put vanilla wafers in like the processor and make it into the flour. And that's what you use and it has like coconut in it, and it has like pecans in it, and it's such a great cake. And it reminds you of a pound cake, but it's not as dense.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's called a wafer cake, old fashioned. Now my goddaughter got me making. She sent me a picture and she goes, "Can you make me this?" And I was like, "What is this?" So I would go to my friends and have them like Like Jonathan's husband, Rodney, told me to make him a chocolate raspberry cake.
Mhm.
I had never made one of
It
those
was
before.
delicious, delicious.
People come to me with these ideas of what they want their cake to be, and then I create it in my head. Well, my goddaughter comes to me and she goes, "Can you make me this?" And it was a sweet potato pie cheesecake.
It's
Ooh.
And
this.
that picture, I have that one.
Oh my goodness! I was looking at that. I was like, that is so pretty. How the top looks like it's like marbled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
goodness!
So it's a sweet potato pie cheesecake with a ginger snap pecan crust.
Ooh. All the things I'm not supposed to do on my Noom.
People are asking for like vegan cakes and everything. That's a big thing now, and I really want to get into the vegan cakes, because right now I'm currently I used to be in, we have a Tyrone Mall here. I used to be located in the mall, and then I closed that spot down, and now I'm looking for an actual brick and mortar like place to have the bakery. And so I definitely, once I get that actual brick and mortar, then I want to establish having like a vegan line, because I know that's a huge money maker out there, because there's so many like vegans now, and everyone's going vegetarian or vegan and like that. So I want to definitely venture out.
Yeah. Even in Florida, there's vegan people.
Stuff. My aunt is vegan and she's my hero, right? And I try a lot of the things that she gets, and sometimes they can be really good, but a lot of the time, like it seems like you would know how to fix it. You have like the magic fingers of a person who makes cakes. So some
Yeah.
people, I feel like they're like, I'll make a vegan cake or like vegan cookies, and they don't turn. So I'd love to see that. That'd be awesome. I know you could
Yeah.
make it. I can feel it. It would be
Yep.
awesome.
I'm definitely wanting to venture into that.
That kind of reminds me of like there was a meme recently about somebody who was like, well, if you're drinking water, you're not a vegan because that's like a fish's living house.
Oh,
So you're actually drinking off of a fish.
It makes me feel bad.
Toya, can you tell us a little bit about your husband Clifton, right?
yeah.
He made us this beautiful dinner at your wedding.
Yep. He could. So I married this Jamaican,
Mhm.
purebred Jamaican, beautiful dark chocolate black man, and he's a chef, and he makes amazing food. And so we were like, okay, we're gonna have American food and Jamaican food. Well, my intention was we're gonna hire a company to come cater this food. And so I think it was maybe like a month before the wedding, and I was trying to get settled. Okay, who's gonna cater the Jamaican food? And he goes, I'm cooking it. And I was like, wait, no, not you. I was like, that's the day of the wedding. I was like, you bet, because I was adamant about the wedding starting on time. I hate weddings that are late 30 minutes. My cousin's wedding was 2 hours late. I was so upset. And so I was very adamant about my wedding starting at 4:30. And so I had done the schedule, everything, and I didn't want him to be late. I said, Clifton, how are you going to cook all of this food for this wedding? Because we were having fish escovitch, and we were having like curry goat. Because traditionally, like in Jamaica, I think the groom's family brings a goat to the bride's family or something, and they do like this they like bring the goat, they kill the goat, and then they cook it. And so, but him and his aunt got up the morning of the wedding at 5 o'clock, and they started cooking. They made all the fish, the curry goat, cabbage, plantains, rice and peas. We had it all.
Okay, before we go any further, so my nephew's dad, my brother-in-law, is from Kenya, and they took him over to a local farm, and they got a goat, and they put it in the truck, and they took it and they did all that. And my nephew Noah goes, can I just not do that because I'd rather enjoy it? And he's like, what do you mean? Because I'd rather enjoy not seeing it being killed and then eat it. He was like, I don't want to see that part.
Oh.
Because he was like ready to name it, you know?
Oh
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, that's that's actually really sad. However, I think that your husband's a total keeper because I mean he nailed all of the food before your wedding.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
saying, sounds like you won.
Yep.
Good.
I mean, let me tell you, there were the people that was there in the line. So we went through the line, and they only gave me a certain amount of serving. I was like, "Can I get a little more, please?"
But what was so upsetting is that they served this little bit, and then when we went to go clean up the next day, there were 2 pans of food still left. I was so upset. They didn't
But
even.
that's okay because I just walked up and I just like, I had my hair down and then I put my hair up and then I was like,
It's not
what?
me, I'm another person.
Not me.
It's not me. It's for her. I'm actually helping somebody. It was pretty good. We also did it in the 8 o'clock theater space where you do a lot of your plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they pushed all the benches back and they made this beautiful like outdoor. I mean, space between tables, so we were able to socially distance.
Yep.
Um,
We reduced the amount of people for the wedding because we originally had 185 guests, and we reduced that to 100, so that we could socially distance. And then what we did is we set up Zoom and had, those who couldn't actually make it because of the limited number, then we set it up on Zoom. And so they were able to watch because like his mother was in Jamaica, so she couldn't even come. But she was able to watch on Zoom. But we did the whole like social distance with the reception tables. And then we like gave out little bottles of hand sanitizer. We had people taking temperatures at the door, masks were required.
and the cookies that you gave, it was like a little pack of like, it was just like the sugar around what
Mason jar. We gave mason jars as a gift. And it had basically we filled them. You could either get the chocolate chip or the oatmeal raisin. And then it gave you instructions on what to do with the cookies. And all you had to do was add like an egg and some butter.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, I made them with my nephews over Christmas. And I know that was like a minute after September because I went from September to December to make them. But I carried it around with me, Latoya.
That's it. There you go.
Because I actually remember I texted you. I was like, "How do I make this again?" Because I lost the tag.
You lost the tag.
Yeah.
Lost the tag.
What kind did you pick?
Oh, chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip? Okay. Just curious.
So you see my man, right?
Oh, true.
I did see a meme this week though, which I thought was, it says, "Your car is not a phone booth, just drive." I think that's pretty good.
That is good.
Because especially in Florida.
On their phones now while they're driving.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of accidents happen. I mean, I got in an accident in October. Guy ran right into the back of me sitting at a red light.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. The last 2 shows that you were the princess for the frog, right?
I was the princess who kissed the frog in Disenchanted. I just finished that. And then
Ragtime.
Oh yeah, I was Sarah in Ragtime and did I did the song Your Daddy's Son. We did a concert version of Ragtime. So yeah,
and now you're the musical director of what? Tell us about that.
I'm doing Snoopy with Think Tank Theater, and the show will be performed at Stageworks, which is in Tampa down by Channelside, May 1st through the 16th.
Very cool. Very cool.
Latoya, why don't you send us out with a little song? Can you just belt us like 3 words or give us a little bit of a song?
Let's see. What do I have? Ooh. Oh, I know. They call it stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. You hear what I say? I said they call it stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Now Wednesday is worse, and Thursday's always so sad. You know the Eagles fly on Fridays, and Saturday I go out to play and let all my hair down. I said the Eagles fly on Fridays, and Saturday I go out to play. Just have a real good time. Then Sunday comes and I go to church and pray. This is what I say. I said, Lord, have mercy on me. Because you know I need it right about then. I said, Lord, have mercy on me. Oh, yeah. I said, Lord, have mercy. My heart's in misery.
Yes. You were a magic woman.
Yes. And thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Let Your Shit Out. Longbar Creative Solutions. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time.